I hope that you are well, and I also hope that you are having a good day so far. Today, we'll be doing our grade 2 English lessons on sentence types. And before we start, we're going to log on to aplusstudents.ca. Once you've logged on to aplusstudents.ca with our username as well as our password, and then we're going to select the subject of English Language Arts, grade 2, and then we're going to scroll down up until we get to the chapter of sentence types. All right. So our chapter is sentence types. Our subject is English Language Arts. Grade grade 2, and the lessons that we are focusing on under the chapter of sentence types is the sentence a statement, a command, a question, or exclamation. So basically, is the sentence a statement, question, command, or exclamation? All right, so when it comes to sentence types, right, we have four kinds of sentences, right? So we have four kinds of sentences, and the four kinds of sentences that we have is a statement, we have a question, we have a command, and we have an exclamation, right? And then when it comes to a statement, right? A statement is a sentence that tells us about something. So a statement is a sentence that tells us about something. And a statement, it always ends with a period. So a sentence, it always ends with a period. So once again, we have a statement, and we see that a statement, it is a sentence. A sentence is a statement is a sentence that tells us about something. And we see that it always ends with a period. And this is a period. That sign is a period. It's like a dot. That's a period. And if we look at an example of a statement, right? An example of a statement, it says, I have an older brother and a younger sister. So a statement is basically like just saying anything, right? It's like anything random. So with a statement, right, it is basically you saying anything. With a statement, you can even just say like, um, today is Friday, right? That is a statement. Like if you just say, today is Friday, that is a statement and it ends with a period. Or you can say, um, I am reading a book. Or you can say, I love reading. Or you can say that I am on vacation or I went to school, right? That is a statement that just tells you about something. Someone does not really have to respond to it, and that ends with a period. And then we have a question, right? And a question is a sentence that asks something. It's like you're asking something, right? That is a question. And when it comes to a question, right, we said a question is a sentence, it asks a question, and a question, it ends with a question mark. It always ends with a question mark, and that is the sign of a question mark. And if we look at the question, right, a question can be any, it's like any question that is being asked. It's like asking, how tall are you? Or you can ask, how old are you? That is also a question, right? Or another question would be, what are you doing? That is a question that is being asked. Or even if you ask, how was your day? That is a question, which means that when it comes to a question, you are eventually going to answer. So if somebody asks you how tall you are, you will then maybe answer based on the fact that if you know how tall you really are, right? And then we also, if somebody were to ask, what are you doing? And then you maybe say what you're doing. I'm watching TV, I am playing a game, I'm listening to A plus students. How old are you? I am 7 years old, I am 8 years old. How was your day? And you'll maybe say how your day was. My day was fine. What did you do? Then you basically say what you did for the day. So that is a question, and a question is a sentence that asks something. Today is Sunday. Rewrite that sentence, Winnie, but then you just correct by saying what today is, ne? Because that was you basically giving a statement. All right, so we said today is Friday, and that is a statement, right? So if I were to ask you, what day is it today? That's a question. And then if you answer me, then you answer me with a statement, right? Yes, so even if you were to say today is Sunday, that is correct because that is a statement. That is you just telling me something. So if I ask you, what day is it today? That's a question that I'm asking you, and you are going to answer me by giving me a statement. Today is Sunday. So well done. Then we have a command, right? And a command, it makes either a request or it tells someone to do something, right? So if your parent were to tell you to do something, that is a command. It's not, I think the word command sounds almost like demanding, but it's not anything demanding, right? A command is just a form of sentence that tells you to do something. It's like if your mom were to say, close the windows, close the curtains, um, do the dishes, undress, after school, get ready for bed or go to bed. Those are commands that is being made, right? Because it's telling you to do something, right? And a command, it ends with a period. Ends with a period. But once again, a command, it tells you what to do. It's a command. It's telling you what to do. So whether they say put the phone down, that is a command. Go to the store or go buy snacks at the store, that is a command, right? Because they are not forcing you to do it. That is not what a command is, right? They're not demanding you to do something, but it's just a command where a request is being made and you're telling someone to do something. And we see the command, it usually ends with a period. Then we also have another command that ends with an exclamation point, right? And that command that ends with an exclamation point is a command that shows either strong feeling, right? And that one ends with an exclamation point. And then we have an exclamation sentence, right? And an exclamation is like a statement. And remember, we said a statement, it tells us to do something. So an exclamation is a sentence that tells you to do something. But when it comes to an exclamation, right, it shows either surprise or an exclamation so shows strong feeling, right? And when it comes to an exclamation, right, an exclamation, it always ends with an exclamation point. And that is how we write an exclamation point, right? So if we were to look at an example of an exclamation sentence, and then we would say, it says, some whales are over 90 feet long. Remember that we said that an exclamation shows surprise, right? Which means that if you were to tell somebody that some whales are over 90 feet long, even you would be surprised. Because you would be like, you will be telling them, like, wow, did you know some whales are over 90 feet long, right? And then another one says, I can't wait for tomorrow. Because if it's maybe someone's birthday or you invited to a party or something's going to happen tomorrow, which you are excited about, and then it means that that is going to be an exclamation, right? And once again, we said we have four kinds of sentences, right? We have four kinds of sentences. One being a statement. This is just to recap, one being a statement. And we said a statement, it tells us about something. Can be anything. Even if you just want to tell me how your day was, right? Without even me asking. Even if you want to confide in someone, it's telling someone without even someone asking you, right? That is a statement. So it tells about something, right? Can be anything. It's like we made an example where we said today is Friday, right? Tomorrow is Saturday. We can even say yesterday was Thursday. You can even say I am going to the park tomorrow, right? So that is basically a statement and it just tells you about something. Even if you want to say I have two sisters without asking, that is a statement. Then we have a question. And a question is a sentence that asks something. And we said with a question, right? It is a sentence that asks something. And with a sentence, we say when it comes to asking a question, right? A question it ends with a question mark. And we made a few examples of questions that you can ask, right? Possible questions. But of course, you will then probably come up with your own questions also, right? And we made an example of a few where we said, how tall are you? How old are you? What are you doing? How was your day? Right? Even if you were to ask somebody, what is your favorite color? That is also a question, right? And a question, we said that it ends with a question mark. So literally all of the questions that were asked needs to end with a question mark. And then we have a command, right? And we see the command, it makes a request or it tells about something, right? It tells someone to do something. Sorry, that's a command. And a command either ends with a period or it ends with an exclamation point. And then lastly, we have an exclamation, like a statement that shows surprise or strong feelings, and it ends with an exclamation point. All right, so now we're going to aplusstudents.ca, right? So we're going to aplusstudents.ca, and then we're going to look at our chapter, which is sentence types, and we're going into the lesson where we need to say, is it a sentence, if the sentence is a statement, a question, command, or an exclamation. All right, and that is basically just once again a breakdown of the four different kinds of sentences, which is a statement, a question, a command, as well as an exclamation. All right, so we now need to say what kind of sentence this is, right? It says Logan poured some water for us. Logan poured some water for us. Is that a statement, a question? All right, it says Logan poured some ice water for us. Is that a statement? Is that a question? Is that a command? Or is that a exclamation? And if we look at the first sentence, it says Logan poured some ice water for us. And then we can say that is a statement, right? Because it's basically just telling us. So it is a statement. Oh, so not with a question mark. So it is a statement. The next one says, where are my fancy shoes? Where are my fancy shoes? You need to say if it is a statement. You need to say if it's a question, a command, or if it's an exclamation. Oopsie. Where are my fancy shoes? Is that a statement that's being made? A question? All right, so where are my fancy shoes? So we can say this is a question, right? This is a question, and even into the question mark. There we have a question mark at the end of the question, so which means that this type of sentence is a question. Especially if you're asking, where are my fancy shoes? You're asking a question, which means that it is a question. The first one is a statement. All right, so we said that is a question and it ends with a question mark. And then we're going to the last one, which is Gabby is so friendly. So Gabby is so friendly. Is that a statement? Is that a question? All right, and if we were to say what type of sentence it is, then we say this is an exclamation sentence. And this is an exclamation sentence. So that is an exclamation sentence because it says Gabby is so friendly, like no. All right. So now we are going on to our test, right? So we're going on to our test where we are going to say is the sentence a statement? Is the sentence a question? Is it making a command? All right. Let's go to our test. All right, so we need to say if it is a statement, a question, a command, or an exclamation, right? What kind of sentence is this? It says, what did the teacher just say? And it ends with a question mark. Is it a question or a command? And yes, we would say this is a question. Then it says, how many elephants are at the zoo? So, how many elephants are at the zoo? Is that option one a question or option two an exclamation? All right, and if we were to say what kind of sentence is how many elephants are at the zoo, then yes, we will start with question option one. It is a question that's being asked, and the sentence ends with a question mark. And now the next one says, where are my fancy shoes? So, where are my fancy shoes? Is it option one, a question, or option two, a command? So, where are my fancy shoes? Is that option one, statement? All right, so where are my fancy shoes? There's a question mark, which means that it is a question. And the question is correct. It says the girls watch the parade every year. The girls watch the parade every year. Is that a statement being made or an exclamation? All right, so this is the girl watch the parade every year, and we can say that is a statement. It's basically just telling us that this girl sits and watches the parade every year, period. And we said it is a statement, right? Yes, well done. Option one is correct. It is a statement. All right. It says Vicky goes to the park every weekend. Vicky goes to the park every weekend. So Vicky goes to the park every Wednesday. So which kind of sentence is this? It says Vicky goes to the park every Wednesday. So we can say it is option two. It's like imagine just coming and saying, "Oh, I go to the park every Wednesday." That's a statement that's being made, right? It's you just telling someone something. All right, and then we can say this is a statement, right? Because it's not a question that is being asked. It is a statement that is being made. So option two is correct. Well done. It says Franklin writes a letter to his grandma. So Franklin writes a letter to his grandma. Is that a statement or question or exclamation or command? So it says Franklin writes a letter to his grandma. What kind of sentence is that, can we see? Is it a statement that is being made, said, or a question that is being made? All right, so Franklin writes a letter to his grandma. So Franklin writes a letter to his grandma. Is that a statement that's being made or a question that is being asked? And this is a statement. So it's a statement, right? All right, and if we look at this sentence, right, then we say it's a statement. And then we have another one that says, please wash your hands with soap. Is that a command sentence or is that a question that is being asked? All right, so we can say, please wash your hands with soap. And if we were to say what kind of sentence that is, then we would say it's a command. Because they are telling you what to do. And a command is correct, so well done. Can you keep a big secret? So Can you keep a big secret? Right? So that is a question that is being asked and it ends with a question mark. Right? So yes, option one is correct. Option one is correct. Let's do the last one. It says, send me a postcard from New York. So send me a postcard from New York. Is that a command or is that an exclamation? That says, send me a postcard from New York. A postcard. Is that a command where they're telling you to do something? Or is it an exclamation? It is like a sentence. Option one or option two? So send me a postcard from New York. Is that a command or an exclamation? All right, so send me a postcard from New York. We can say this is a command, right? It's a command because you are telling someone to do something. You're telling them to send a postcard from New York. So, which means that that is a command sentence and it tells you what to do. All right, this is the last one where it says Gabby is so friendly. Is that a statement that we're making or an exclamation? This is the last one. A statement or exclamation. It says, all right, so Gabby is so friendly. We will go with option two, right? It being an exclamation sentence. So well done, well done. All right, so this is now the end of our lesson or chapter on sentence types. The lessons that we're focusing on was, is the sentence a statement? Where we said it's just telling you what to do, period. Is it a command, right? And a command is basically requesting that you do something, it's telling you what to do. Then we have a question. A question, it asks a question and it ends with a question mark. And then we have an exclamation, which is so an exclamation and an exclamation, it basically shows surprise or it shows strong feeling. And it ends with an exclamation point. All right, so great tools. This is the end of our lesson on sentence types. Thank you very much for joining the class, and I hope that you're going to have a good weekend further. Goodbye. All right, and if we were to choose the correct one,